The New Rules of Investing. Essential Wealth Strategies for Turbulent Times. By Mark Haefele, Global Chief Investment Officer at UBS. This is a book summary. The old playbook is dead. Stock picking? Outdated. Chasing the market? Dangerous. And the idea that governments don't shape the markets? Completely false. That's not just theory, that's reality. For decades, we were told the same bedtime story, that the free market would sort itself out, that rational actors would win, that if you just read enough financial statements and believed hard enough in value investing, you'd be fine. Welcome to the New Rules of Investing, a journey into how the richest families on the planet are playing a completely different game. This isn't just theory. It's based on the real-world playbook of Mark Haefele, the Chief Investment Officer at UBS, a guy who helps manage over $4 trillion in wealth. Once upon a time, you could pick a few good stocks, hold tight, and ride off into the sunset. That was the 1970s. That was Buffett's era. Value investing reigned. The rules were simple. The game was predictable. But today, the world is burning and rebooting at the same time. The pandemic shattered global supply chains. War returned to Europe. Central banks flooded economies with cash. And artificial intelligence just might replace your job before lunch. Mark Haefele's The New Rules of Investing is the manual for this new world. And today, we're going to break it down so you can start thinking like the ultra-wealthy. Chapter 1. Follow the big money. Rule number 1. Follow the big money. And these days, it's not on Wall Street, it's in Washington, and Brussels, and Beijing. That's right. Governments are no longer just referees. They are the biggest players on the field. They are writing the rules, directing the flows, and backing entire sectors with hundreds of billions of dollars. Biden signs the Inflation Reduction Act. Within months, clean energy stocks explode. It's not just a law, it's a signal. One that investors like Haefele and his clients are trained to read. China, meanwhile, gives green lights to EV battery startups while quietly restricting exports on key minerals. That's not politics. That's capital strategy. That's how you shape the future. If you want to play this new game, it's simple. Buy what governments are buying. Invest where the incentives flow, because where incentives go, returns follow. Chapter 2. The 5 Ds. Changing everything. But Haefele doesn't just tell you to follow the money, he shows you why the money is moving. He calls them the 5 Ds, 5 global forces disrupting everything you thought you knew about investing. Debt, over $300 trillion of it, worldwide. It's reshaping interest rates, inflation, and even the definition of a safe asset. Deglobalization, trade wars, sanctions, supply chain decoupling. Efficiency is being traded for security. Demographics, populations are aging fast. In countries like China and Korea, birth rates are collapsing. More retirees, fewer workers. Digitalization, AI isn't coming. It's here. And it's making entire industries obsolete, while birthing new ones overnight. Decarbonization, climate change is no longer an activist issue. It's an economic one. Governments are throwing money at green infrastructure like never before. Each D isn't just a disruption. It's an investment team. And when you zoom out, they aren't isolated. They're intertwined. Aging populations demand more healthcare. Q biotech and medtech. Deglobalization, it drives spending on cyber defense and local manufacturing. AI, it needs data centers, and those need power, which drives the clean energy boom. This isn't fear-mongering, it's pattern recognition. And Haefele's job, his literal job, is to help billionaires see around corners. Here's the kicker. You don't need to be a billionaire to think like one. You just need the new rules. Chapter 3. Asset allocation. Over stock picking. Here's where it gets controversial. Haefele says, stock picking? For most people, it's a trap, a losing game disguised as a badge of financial wisdom. You know the drill. Devour earnings reports, obsess over price-to-earnings ratios, hunt for that undervalued gem. But according to Haefele, And remember, this is the guy who oversees $4 trillion in wealth. It's not how the pros play anymore. It's certainly not how billionaires manage their money. In the new rules of investing, Haefele reveals a quiet truth. Even many professionals have admitted that the golden age of Buffett-style value investing has faded. The markets are too complex, too fast, too influenced by government policy, tech disruption, and global instability. That's why his ultra-wealthy clients focus on asset allocation, the strategic art of balancing risk and reward across multiple asset classes: stocks, bonds, real estate, alternatives, and beyond. Think of it like engineering. You're not gambling, you're constructing a portfolio that doesn't just chase gains, but weathers storms, that flexes when inflation surges, that adapts when AI shifts the job market or geopolitics rattle economies. Stock pickers try to guess the winner. Wealth managers build the stadium. Chapter 4. Know yourself. You think the market is your biggest enemy? Wrong. It's you. This is where Haefele dives deep, really deep, into the psychology of investing. Not the charts, not the numbers, but your own mind, your emotional blind spots, your inherited beliefs about money, the fears you picked up when you saw your parents argue about bills, the thrill you chase when the market's green. In the book, he puts it plainly: emotional baggage can sabotage your financial future faster than any bear market. The real edge isn't IQ, it's EQ, emotional intelligence with your money. And get this, at UBS, they train advisors not just to recommend funds, but to understand you. What keeps you up at night? What motivates your ambition? Because without self-awareness, you'll always be a step behind, even if the numbers say you're winning. Chapter 5. The UBS Wealth Way. This isn't about beating the S&P. It's about winning your game. At UBS, Haefele and his team don't just build portfolios, they build purpose-driven strategies using a framework they call the Wealth Way. And it's all based on 3 buckets. Liquidity, what you need in the short term. Bills, emergencies, peace of mind. Longevity, what funds your life dreams. College for your kids, a sabbatical in Spain, retirement on your terms. Legacy, what lives on after you. Whether it's family, philanthropy, or impact. This system has helped thousands of people, billionaires and beginners alike, finally feel in control of their wealth. Not just richer, but more secure. Because true wealth isn't about flashy gains, it's about clarity, confidence, and continuity. Chapter 6. Impact investing. Once your finances are stable, Haefele drops the mic. Make your money matter. In the later chapters of the new rules of investing, we meet people who've made their wealth work for something beyond themselves. They're not just seeking returns, they're seeking results. It's called impact investing. And it's not a fad, it's the future. Imagine investing in companies solving climate change, curing diseases, building smarter cities, and still generating returns. That's what the next generation of investors is demanding. And that's what the ultra-wealthy are already doing. Impact investing isn't just about how you invest, it's about why. Final rule: stay humble. Markets are humbling. They don't care who you are, how rich, how smart, how many Twitter followers you've got. That's why Haefele ends the book with a final, quiet truth. Humility is your greatest investment tool. Because when you're managing trillions, like he is, you learn quickly that certainty is an illusion, and overconfidence is expensive. The best investors, they're not masters of the universe. They're students of uncertainty. The new rules of investing isn't just a book, it's a mindset shift. It's a flashlight in the fog. In a world where governments pull the strings, AI rewrites the rules, and climate is the new economy, you don't need old advice, you need a new playbook. This is it. Like and subscribe if you're ready to invest like the 1% and not get left behind like the 99. Grab the book, start the journey, rewire your wealth.